Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Alan here. Before we get into the actual topic for the video, I wanted to say thank you guys all for the support that you guys got me on my last video. We just recently hit 80 views on the video, which is awesome. Usually I average about 50 views, so that's almost like double what I normally get. But yeah, thank you everybody that shared the link, whether that was through Skype, Twitter, Steam. I got around about 150 votes, which is absolutely insane. I didn't think like anybody my size would actually gonna be able to get that much support. So I'm glad that you guys were able to get me that far. I'm truly grateful for that. And yeah, so I also want to thank you guys for 675 subscribers, which is 3/4 of the way to 700 from 600 itself. But anyways, guys, I want to get right into the topic today. So Robin's video today sparked this topic back into my head, and pretty much what happened was earlier this month was that Days Gone By was trademarked by Sony, and pretty much everybody was like in the, pretty much in the mist about it. As I said, this is kind of like about 1 month old news, but I forgot to cover this. But yeah, so pretty much people are thinking about two things. It's either The Last of Us 2 Days Gone, or it is Sony Bends new game. So it's pretty much like a 50-50 split. I've seen all around the comments on everything. Pretty much everybody, like half the people think it's Last of Us, but half the people think it's Sony Bend. For me personally, I think it's Sony Bend because I don't, like, Days Gone seems like it could be both, because what is rumored for Sony Bend is that they're making a horror game, but at the same time, The Last of Us 2 obviously has that apocalyptic kind of feel to it, and that very well be like a suiting name for The Last of Us 2 sequel, Days Gone, like Days Gone what? Days Gone after the whole entire Last of Us story, and what has happened to Joel and Ellie. But I don't think it's gonna be The Last of Us 2. It's just kind of my gut feeling. I feel like they're not, like, at that far of a stage for The Last of Us to give itself a, kind of like a subtitle. As it is for Uncharted 4, we didn't get a subtitle until, after almost a year until the game was announced. Back when it was announced in that fall, and then the next summer, it got a subtitle. So, I definitely don't think there's already a subtitle for the game, as I think the game is in early stages if it's being made right now. I definitely don't think it's, well off there. I think it still has quite a bit of ways to grow. I think that they're fully supporting Uncharted 4 right now to its fullest, but I do think there's a small team. Neil Druckmann did say in an interview that they're not doing The Last of Us 2, but come on, they've lied so many times about Ellie, and they're doing it for, for that kind of surprise effect, I guess I can say. But I definitely don't think that there's full truth in that statement. I definitely think they're having some kind of small team, whether that's a couple, people, maybe 20 people, kind of researching, or pretty much gathering ideas and starting to create this game. Remember, a year ago, we had that one guy that had his LinkedIn profile, I believe, and it pretty much showed that he was working on early stages of The Last of Us 2, so there's always that we gotta consider. I made a video about that on a year ago, so it's definitely, if it is a thing, it's definitely a game that's been, early development, so, but yeah, definitely The Last of Us 2, if it is a thing, it's definitely in its early stages. But that being said, I wanted to move on to my predictions part of this video. I'm going to be making predictions on The Last of Us 2 right now, because I do think we're going to hear about it this year, and the reason being is every single time after Naughty Dog's previous game, they always announce their next game. Not right after, but soon enough after, within the next couple of months. So, if that has to do anything to go by, then that might be for the next Naughty Dog game as well. So originally, I thought that The Last of Us 2 was going to be announced at PSX 2016 this December. That way, it'd give some time after Uncharted 4. But after seeing that, there's kind of too big of a gap between Uncharted 4 and that. And I always think that Naughty Dog always have something new to talk about. They're not they don't take their time to announcing a new game right after the old game. As it was, they were going to announce Uncharted 4 at E3 before The Last of Us. Alright, no, wait, they're gonna announce The Last of Us before Uncharted 3, sorry about that. But, yeah, they're definitely not they don't like to wait before announcing their games. They like to announce their games, pretty good timing. They don't like to, announce it late in the end cycle, I guess you could say. But yeah, I definitely think that it's switched between the PSX for me and now into E3. That being said, my predictions goes to E3 right now is because when I was at PSX this year, I believe Shuhei had an interview I saw online, and he pretty much said that PSX was for those small indie titles to get some exposure, and it was pretty much for the fans to be there to play early games, but it's not so much for those big, heavy titles. It's meant for the little guys, and they do have some big titles that they announce, but it's more for showing off more of what they have and showing off the little titles. That being said, I don't think that they're gonna, possibly reveal the biggest game, one of the biggest games of this, whole entire generation, the sequel to that game, I'm saying. I don't think they're gonna do that at PSX, because it's, pretty much a fan kind of convention. I think they'd do that where the press is all at, which, as you know, E3 is the most press talked about event, so I definitely think it will be at an E3 conference itself. So, it definitely has a possibility of being announced at E3 2016. That being said, I don't know if Naughty Dog is ready to show off The Last of Us 2 after April, like 26th it is now for Naughty Dog, that they're releasing Uncharted 4. I don't know in the next month and a half if they're going to be able to get, like, a trailer going for that game, but, you know, only time will tell, so I'm just going to go big and bold, because predictions are boring if you're just going to go for the safe bets, so I'm going to say it right here that Naughty Dog will announce The Last of Us 2. What are the games going to be called? It might just be called The Last of Us 2. I definitely think that that game will be announced at E3 2016. But right now, and the days gone, that whole little subtitle thing, or that little title trademark thing, I definitely think that's for Sony Bends' new game. And I think that Sony Bends' new game is not that far away from being announced. Possibly Sony Bends' new game and The Last of Us 2 might be announced this E3. That would be awesome. That would be pretty crazy. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave your predictions down below. Do you think that Days Gone By is for The Last of Us 2, or do you think it's for Sony Bends' new game? It's definitely kind of like a 50-50, as I said before. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for the support lately. It's just been truly amazing. I'll see you guys probably Wednesday for the next video. And anyways, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, guys.